All right, we are about to get started with our vision board workshop, little webinar workshop, masterclass, happy hour, whatever you want to call it. So we're just letting people file in. We got about 2 minutes. So I see we got, oh, people are piling in as we speak.
Lovely.
Welcome, you guys. This is a joint meeting. So we got members from the Healthy Hormone Club. We also have people from GlowFit and maybe Glow Protocol as well. So anyway, super excited to see you guys. Some of you are calling in on the phone. If you're calling on the phone, you're not going to miss a ton. This is going to be recorded. So let me just make sure. Yep, it's recording. So you can watch the replay. And I'm going to kind of go through a bunch of just tips and tricks and how to make what a vision board is really, like not what you hear it is, not a collage of pictures. And then also like how to make it work for you and then how to make one that's effective. So we're going to talk about that. I see. Hey, everybody. Yeah, if you have questions or you want to say hi, you can do that in the chat. See, Allison's here. Hello, hello. So this style format, I cannot see you guys, but you can see us because I can get more people into the room. We actually had like 700 people register, but I only have 500 spots.
Oh my gosh.
But most people don't, like a lot of times people will register, but they're not going to show up live. So I always like feel comfortable. Hi, it's Tanya from Kelowna.
Oh
Woo!
my gosh.
How are you? Kelowna is so beautiful. Oh my God. If you guys get a chance to go to Kelowna, Canada, most beautiful city.
And for my sons, the Glow Wellness Girls are here too.
Yes.
For those that may not know, I'm Coach Keyjon.
I'll introduce you as we officially start. Oh, we're
Oh,
officially starting. Welcome, welcome. It's
I was going to introduce myself, but I'll let the doctor introduce me here.
so welcome. This is our Healthy Hormone Club happy hour slash GlowFit extra call slash Glow Protocol
Glow
call and Glow Natural
I showed
Wellness.
up ready.
Yeah.
I showed up ready to go representing GlowFit.
We're talking about building a vision board tonight. So you guys know me, I'm Dr. Michelle. This is Coach Keyjon. He is my partner in the GlowFit program. He's also my personal trainer and partner.
Psychologist.
And
We want to throw that in there. Psychologist, number one.
now, if you guys follow my Instagram, you know I've been doing some bodybuilding shows. This is the guy responsible for turning me from a runner into a bodybuilder, I guess you would call me.
Many things.
I'm
Bodybuilder, one of them, many things, but yes.
Hey, Gloria from Queens, New York. I actually grew up in Howard Beach, New York, and Queens. So from like little baby till like 10, 11 years old, I was in your hood. Hey, Janice, HHC Anglo Protocol, what South Carolina. All right, we have people from all over the place.
Very exciting.
Oh, Wendy said she's never done a vision board. So this would be great for you, Wendy. I'm super excited. Good to see you. Heather's here. Awesome. So
A
we're
lot of
gonna
people.
dive right in. I don't have slides, so you're just gonna be looking at me and Coach Keishma.
We can flex now. We could flex
Maybe
now.
some poses in the
I
back
know,
while I
right?
talk.
We could do a routine for you guys.
All right, so vision boards. Like, what's a vision board? You guys have seen vision boards, I'm sure, before. Like a poster board where different pictures and phrases on it. People make them to kind of like what they want to come true in the future is what they put on those boards. But a lot of people think like it's a waste of time. Oh, it's just woo woo. Like, why are you putting pictures on the board? You're just cutting things out and putting them on there. It doesn't really mean anything. But there's actually a lot of science behind vision boards and why they work. And so what they are, it's a physical representation of what your hopes, dreams, desires, goals are for the future. And so when you put it in front of you and you see it, there's actually science behind that where there's three things when it comes to neuroscience. One is the reticular activating system. So that's something what that is. You guys know what this is. So if you might not know it as the reticulating activating system or RAS, but if you start thinking about, I want to get a new car, and you start looking at cars, and now you're looking at, I don't know, the new Toyota Camry, and you're looking at it online, and then you go out in the world and like, oh, that guy has a Toyota Camry, and oh, there's a Toyota Camry. And you're noticing all these Toyota Camrys that you've never noticed before. That's because your brain is focused on Toyota Camry, and now it's seeking out in the world Toyota Camry. So it actually is kind of focusing on what matters most to you. And so when you create a vision board and you put things on that board and you're looking at them, it trains your brain to like seek out opportunities for you to get that thing that you want. So that's the first like neuroscience reason that we're going to create this vision board. The second one is just anytime we do something repetitive in our brain and we think about that same thought over and over again, we start to believe that thought. And so when we're looking at this vision board, if we put it somewhere where we're going to see it, and that's what we're going to recommend you do, look at it every day, you start to like imagine that thing and you start to kind of like focus and believe that thing is real and act as if it's real. And when you start acting as if you already have that thing, then it's much easier to get that thing. And so that's kind of part of it. And like athletes do this, it's visualization basically. Pro athletes visualize to win games. Like they actually did research on basketball team and they had half the team not go to practice and just visualize themselves shooting baskets and making it in every time. And they did this for a week, and the other half of the team actually went to the gym and shot baskets. The part of the team that actually did the visualization actually improved their shooting by like 10% because when they visualized it, they made the basket every time. But the guys that were actually practicing in real life missed sometimes. And so it's just powerful because you would think sitting at home and not actually doing the thing would not be as beneficial as actually practicing the sport. The visualizations, the brain is so much more powerful than we actually imagine it could be.
I gotta say something real quick. We just had this conversation maybe yesterday. As a trainer, for those that may not know, I've been a trainer, master trainer for 35 years. And one of the RAS techniques, if you will, is whenever I get a new client who may, her best body may be decades behind, years behind. And remember what I told you?
Oh,
I said, find a picture of a physique that's similar to yours that you would love to look like and use that imagery. And that's very powerful. So one of the first things I do with my clients, show me a picture of your younger self when you're playing sport, or just
Mhm.
something where they remember and can see, oh, this is when I played softball in college. I love that body, or oh, this is one of my favorite models, whatever. And I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, just having that, because a lot of people, maybe if your physique has not been the way you wanted for many years, you actually forget what that is. But if you have that picture, and I gotta tell you, moving forward, whenever I was younger, I had all the physiques on my wall that I wanted to look like. And
Oh,
and
that's
that
awesome.
but that's a little trick for you guys. Maybe on your vision board, you can put what you want on your own vision board, but maybe that is something if many of you guys have that fitness goal.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about
All those things.
absolutely
Yes, yes.
what I think it's good to categorize your vision board into
Mhm.
different aspects
Aspects.
of your life or different areas that you want to focus on. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But
Mhm.
yes, I love that idea
Yes.
of like, because like if you know that you want to get healthier or fitter, like that's so vague. Like, what does that actually look like?
Yes.
And so you have that goal that you're aiming for.
Mhm.
And even with the visualization thing, one of the things that we do, as I'm getting ready for another competition, as I'm eating, like Coach Keaton's like when you eat, like visualize that protein going into your muscle, visualize the food like feeding your cells and not going to fat, right? And so it's even like that is effective.
Yes. Yes.
And it's like and I really attribute like that visualization, that like positive thinking to like how fast I can get results.
Yes. If you talk to people about a topic that they love, feel the vibration. If you say, "Oh, I hate that," you can just feel the negative
Mhm.
energy. So, as Doc was saying, what you focus on, what you speak about, the camera, you all of a sudden, wow, there's red beetles everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Beetle game, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of real world truth and science behind, what we're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then the third like neuroscience thing is just neuroplasticity. And basically it's the concept of what fires together wires together, and what we constantly think about, we bring about. And so the more we visualize and feel that feeling of what it's like to be on the beach, if that's on your vision board, or what it's like to have the body, or what it's like to live in a two-story house, if that's part of your vision, the more we kind of like feel that feeling, it actually creates new neural pathways in our brain to shift our identity toward that version of us that we want to be.
Mhm.
So I know it's for those of you that are like, or this is a new concept, it might sound a little woo-woo, but if you look up the neuroscience of it, It's scientifically proven, like every bit of it. And so why, I'm going to go into why like sometimes people make a vision board and it doesn't work. Like what's about that? Like, hey, I've done this before. I put the two-story house on there. I put the Lamborghini on there. I put the trip to Puerto Rico and none of it happened.
Mm.
A lot of times it's like one thing that I think mistakes could be is that we just put random things on our vision board that we don't actually really, really truly desire. And it's not really one of our big goals in life. We're just like, oh, it'd be nice to have a nice house, nice to have a Lambo. But are we really like, is having a Lamborghini like the thing that we want the most in life? Or would it just be like something flashy to have? Right. So I think it has to be like, this is what I really, 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 really want. Because if it's really what you really, 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 really want, you're going to take the steps to get that. And so it's not like you put it on there and then boom, the next day it shows up at your house. There's steps involved. And then the other thing I think could be a mistake is like I think that we need to be aspirational with our goals. Like, don't put on something that you know you're going to have happen. Like, don't be like, oh, I want to get paid next week, even though you know you're going to get paid next week because you have a job that pays you every week. But if you say you want to like double your income, that's aspirational. But if you say you want to make $1 billion next year and you're making $100,000 this year, that's a little bit far-fetched, right? So be reasonable but aspirational with your goals. You want something to stretch you, but you don't want something that is almost ridiculous.
And almost setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, exactly,
You know, it'd
exactly.
be like somebody just starting to work out with weights and say, in 3 months, I want to look like you, coach. Hey, I love the drive and I love the ambition, but there are steps to be taken. You can work toward that goal of having your dream body, but it may take a little bit longer than 3 weeks.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
yes. So
And
dream big, but be realistic in your dream.
yes, yes. Don't think small, definitely think big.
Hmm.
But also a vision board is not just you make it and then you put it away. Like you actually do have to like look at it, think about it, like feel the feelings of having those things, and then also take the steps, make a plan, take some steps to get the things that you put on that board. So let's talk about how to create a vision board. So you can do this several ways. You can do it digitally. You can do it like on Pinterest or with Canva or some other like software programs, but I think that's not quite as powerful as having like a real physical vision board where like we have some poster boards over there.
Yep.
Can you
Oh,
grab
of
them?
course.
Just gonna show them because we're gonna make our vision boards too.
Oh, yes. This will be hers.
So like just these big, like kind of like when you're in school, you get these like project boards. They don't have to be that big. You can get like one like a picture frame. I've seen some really cute ones.
And also too, would be really fun where because I've done this before is get those easels. They sell them at the store. Put them on the easel and really work your craft. I mean, this is your work of art.
Yeah.
Treat it as such, or at least I do.
You can have a lot of fun with it. And then you just get like magazines, like old magazines or like catalogs, just like different genres of magazines. And just you can cut out phrases, you can cut out pictures. You could even go on, if there's a phrase that you like, you can type it up in pretty font and print it out.
Hmm.
You can put little like trinkets on your vision board too. It doesn't just have to be paper.
Hmm.
You can put like little emblems or trinkets or something that you like. Just make it cute, make it colorful.
Make it your own.
Yeah, make it something that like calls to you.
Yes, yes. Make it your own.
But before you do it, like don't just go out and like start just cutting things out of a magazine. Like I think you should need to prepare to do it, and that's what this is about. So before we do it, we want to like first of all get clear on like what it is that we really want. What are our goals? Before we start looking for photos, we don't really know what to look for because what I find, I've been to vision board workshops before where it was like just a fun thing. The girls are getting together, just grab a bunch of magazines, and no one thought about anything. We just start cutting out pretty things out of the magazine and putting them on a vision board.
Hmm.
And that is not really a well thought out vision board because it's just pretty, but it's not really our goal, our dream. And so first we want to know like what do I want to experience? What do I want to become? What do I want to feel? What do I want to create? And there's no wrong answer. So you be honest, be bold, like don't worry if someone's gonna think it's silly or weird or not you, like that's not what you do. Like if you say you want to be a zookeeper and you're, a teacher, You could be a zookeeper. Like it doesn't matter. I was, in marketing before I became a doctor. And so it just wasn't what was my goal in life. It wasn't what was called to me. And so I switched and now I'm doing what I love. And so, I think that sometimes people are afraid that, oh, I went to school for this, or I made this career choice and now I'm stuck in it. And then they're stuck doing something that they're not passionate about. So no matter what, it doesn't have to be a career change. It could be anything. And then you want to choose once you figure out what you want, and we'll talk about categories in a little bit. You want to choose pictures that not just depict it, but that give you some kind of emotion, like that actually like trigger some type of something in you, some kind of like feeling.
Mm.
So it not just like it shouldn't just be like a house. It should be like this house that you love or that you think is amazing. So whatever it is, you can also draw things too if you're
It's
good
funny
at
you
that
said.
kind of thing.
I was just going to say I love drawing, and I did as a kid. And how cool to be, like you said, you can cut out cool pictures and stuff like that. But I also, the connection, the emotion to it, drawing something, drawing your favorite landscape or a designer.
Yeah,
I think that to me is something that I would probably do on my vision board is draw some things
yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
So you make them your own and use your special gifts in color creation. I was telling her I actually used lights in my original one. It
I
was
love that.
Oh, from the power for the backside. I'm like, my vision board was like, duh.
Oh my gosh, that's
No,
too
now
funny.
what do you? I want to be working on mine, and we'll have to once we
Yeah,
get yes.
yeah. So I'm gonna skip ahead of my notes here.
Sure.
So steps are gonna be these are questions I want you guys to write down and maybe answer right now as we're going through if you want to like work on creating your vision board right now. So this is how we know what to put on it. So number one is what am I craving more of out of my life? So it could be love, it could be time, it could be vacation, it could be connection with other people. So maybe you want to put some type of club or sport or hobby on there. It could be music, it could be fitness, it could be so many things. It could be balance. It can be anything that you desire more of. So, what am I craving more of in my life? And think about that. So, write these down. Number two is what is no longer serving me and needs to be released. This might not go on your vision board, but the opposite of it will. This could be a spouse, it could be a job,
Job,
it could be,
a habit,
yeah, it could be oh, that's a good one. Yes, actually, yes.
a habit, a thought process.
Hmm.
Putting yourself down all the time or negative self-talk.
It could be saying yes to all the obligations. Maybe you like are like the PTA mom and like you're like, yes, 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 I'll volunteer for this, volunteer for that. And so maybe that has to stop.
Mhm.
So these are things that are going to get clear on your vision. Um, and then this is a good one. So this is going to be a bigger question. What does my ideal life look like in 1 year? And so you're going to include these categories: your lifestyle, your income, your health, your relationships, travel, home, career, and passion. When I say passion, what does that mean? It means things that light you up. So it could be for you, it's probably fitness, for music, um, spending time with family. It could be cooking. It could be volunteering, like going to like build a house for people in Peru. It could be anything like that. So something that lights you up and makes you feel just good about yourself.
It's interesting as you're going through these lists, as you just are like, speaking of them, I'm thinking about that. It's what's really cool about that. It makes you connect to your deeper self. Because
Yes.
I think the vision board should be a projection of what's dear and important to you. And just even what your relationships or habits. It had me, I was kind of getting lost in my own world. But I think that's what, bringing something like this powerful manifestation out into view out here from inside to out, it makes it more real. is if you think about it, everything that we're sitting on, touching, wearing, screen, the blinds and everything like that, it was somebody's idea.
Yeah,
We're living
exactly.
in someone else's idea, meaning that someone had to think about everything that we see. So why not, add to the contribution of our own life and create what we want to experience and see outside?
Yeah, yeah. It's just like this is just like kind of like a paint by numbers manifestation, you know? It's like it's just breaking down and putting into visual view what we want to bring about in our life. And I like because I'm a very visual person. Like if I'm taking notes, a lot of times I'm drawing and I'm like making charts and circles, and I'm not taking like regular notes a lot of times because I'm more visual. If I have to remember something, I'll put it in a triangle or a circle or something like that to make myself remember. So this for me is very helpful to have something I can see. And so again, those categories are lifestyle, and lifestyle is like just like general like how you live. Like what time do you wake up? What time do you go to bed? What type of food do you eat? What type of people do you associate with? What do you do for fun? Income is how much money you make. Health is your fitness, your hormonal health, your digestion, um, how you feel, like how your the integrity of your body, how healthy is your body? Are you at the weight you want to be? Does your skin look healthy? Is your hair healthy? All those things. Relationships is relationships with like romantically, but also with family, with friends, with the community. Passion, we talked about that already. Travel, only if that's important to you. Some people might not like to travel. I like to travel. So travel is like, where do I want to go? What type of travel do I want to do? Is it going to be a humanitarian trip? Is it going to be a tropical vacation? Is it going to be traveling for a sporting event? Is it going to be a combination of those? And then home is like, what kind of environment do you want to create for yourself? Like, do you want to make a little sanctuary where it feels like a little spa when you go into your house? Is there a Zen environment? Do you want it to like the party zone? Like, what do you want to create in your home? What do you want that to look like and feel like? And then career, are you doing what's serving your soul purpose? Awesome. And let's see, my next question is, what do I want to become? Describe her or him. So describe your future self. Like, how would other people describe you in the future, in a year from now? And so write that down, how you'd want other people to describe you. And then the next question, I know it's going kind of fast, but the next question is, what feelings do I want to feel more often? So this is, I know you guys weren't thinking I was going to go here, but do you want to feel more abundant? Do you want to feel more energized? Do you want to feel more sexy? Do you want to feel more seen? Do you want to feel more peaceful? Do you want to feel more spiritual? So how do you want to feel more often? And I know sounds like it's not what a vision board is about, but it really is.
Sure. No, I can see how it would be.
Yeah.
Because your emotions and feeling, they say language, feelings are the language of the soul. So
Yes.
that's how you can tell if something is good for you, the way you feel. You ever meet somebody, it's like, wow, this is my person. And there's sometimes you get that vibe. So I think feelings are lead you to the path, your soul path, and feelings
Yes.
lead you to the foods that work for you. The
When
activity.
you're in touch with your feelings, yes. Like when you are really kind of connected to your feelings, they can be your guide of like that used to be like in like our ancestors, they didn't have like Chat GPT and Google. Like they would walk up to something and they'd feel their whether it was poisonous or whether it was healthy for them or whether it was dangerous or
Yes.
and they would use their feelings and their intuition, and we've kind of gotten away from that because we live in this very artificial world where like we're in temperature controlled environments and we're living in houses with artificial materials and everything's kind of like curated for us so we don't have to use our senses as much. But I think that kind of also is a detriment because
Yes.
we lose connection with
Connection.
ourselves.
I got to throw in real quickly too on the topic of that. Whenever I had I detached my Achilles tendon, and to touch base on what Doc's saying over here, whenever I had my surgery, they reattach it. I would go to where at Trader Joe's, and I would remember as I went into the food section, I would just ask my body, what do I need to heal fast? I swear this is a true story.
That's awesome.
And and so I'm all about what you're talking about, and there's so much truth to that. Is sometimes we get so taken away by the noise and stimulation. There's a saying that says, if you don't go within, you go without. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what we're talking about here. So yes, definitely emotions, which is energy and motion, is a big deal.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So that was what feelings do I want to feel more often.
Mhm.
And then the last question for this little kind of like self-inquiry part of step one is what limiting beliefs do I want to rewire or release in order to receive what I want? So that's a big one because we
Mhm.
might not realize that we have limiting beliefs.
Mhm.
But I know many of you on this call, and I know at some point in your journey, if we've had a conversation, there were some limiting beliefs around whether you can heal or whether you can get over this symptom or that symptom, or whether you could, you know, lose 10 pounds or whether you could balance your hormones or whether you could do something. And we've all had, I've had limiting beliefs. I think we've all had limiting beliefs at some point. Oh, I'm not good enough for that, or oh, I'm not the kind of person that does that, or I can't do that, or my body's not made for that, or one of these things, like something that we want, but we believe for some reason there's something holding us back.
Mhm.
Or, I just don't have the money for that, or whatever it is. Um, we all have these limiting beliefs. And so we have to figure out what limiting belief is in the way, blocking us from what we want on the other side,
Mhm.
what we really want, not what we think we can get. And so this is a vision board, a dream board, it's our stretch goal. And so usually the reason why we don't have it right now is because there's something blocking us from getting it. Because if there wasn't, then we probably would already have it, right?
And it's interesting, from the health and fitness side. Uh, I can honestly say when people hit 50 or 60, while they know that they can get better, and from my experience, they truly don't believe that they can have a physique of when they're 40, 30, and
Well, because
20.
we've been told by everybody in the
Well,
world that we can't do it.
because we see with everybody else, and you're a classic example, in your early 50s, you went from okay, healthy per se, then to like,
You saw this guy, I was like, you were okay.
no, I'm just saying.
You're right.
No, what I'm saying is, I mean, you have a physique that there's no 20-year-old that's going to walk up and just do the things you do. So
But I
that's,
have limiting beliefs,
oh yeah.
even
So
then, right?
yeah, so actually, I don't want to put you on the spot. But for the viewers here to help, what was your limiting belief in fitness that took you from someone who ran every day to a physique that can win, physique competition, that was not even on your radar a year ago? What was your limiting belief?
I had a bunch of, well, one, I just felt like my body was meant to run because that's what I've always done and that's why I've always excelled at. And I wasn't very strong.
Right.
So I'm a runner, not a lifter, right? So that was one limiting belief.
Okay.
Second limiting belief was I didn't believe that my body could change because I'd been working out for 30 years, like since I was 20. I did lift weights. I did not lift weights. So, and I wasn't getting any bigger muscles or any slimmer or
The
anything.
metabolism was not speeding up.
Yeah, my body wasn't changing. So I just figured like I don't have that body type, but it's not for me.
Yes.
So that was limiting belief number two. Limiting belief number three is that there's no way I'm getting up on a stage in a bikini or wearing a bikini in front of people.
Well,
Like,
actually, whenever I met her in the gym, she told me she never wore shorts because she had cellulite, and
yes.
she's like, I never wear shorts. And so,
And she was thin.
yeah.
I was skinny, thin. My legs were thin, but I just had like cellulite on the back of my legs.
And so you suspended, I won't say you let go, but you suspended those limiting beliefs. And then by opening that window, that door, your body started changing. Then
Yeah.
there came a point where it just was like, I got
Well,
this.
but then no, it wasn't that easy though,
Oh, oh
because
my gosh.
then I started doing the weightlifting and I'm like, well, I'll just work out with you. I'm not going to do the bodybuilding show. I'll just work out with you. And then I'm like, okay, I'll do the bodybuilding show. But he was giving me a plan, but I was going running like 10 miles, 6 miles, 5 miles every day before I went to the gym, even though it wasn't part of the plan.
No, no.
And
If I would have known she knew, I would have been
I would
upset.
just like not tell him because I didn't trust that my body was able to get to the point that I need to be without doing all that cardio because I've always done all that cardio. And so I got told on by one of our other gym goers who saw me running down the
You
street.
know, your bike's running down the road right now. I'm like, what? She's fresh and showered. She
Yeah,
would
so I
shower.
took a shower before I went to the gym, so I looked like I hadn't worked out
See
yet.
what I mean by psychologist? Now you understand what I'm talking about.
But that was a really limiting belief that my body had to do all that exercise in order to lose weight. So once I like trusted and like said, okay, I had a cry at the gym and broke down. It was sad.
No, I remember that. I remember the day.
But I wasn't running just for weight loss. I was also running because it helped with like my ADHD. It helped kind of like I explain it kind of like if you put like a pit bull in the garage in the living room and you lock him in there, he's gonna tear up the furniture. But if you run him for a bit and then he's just gonna lay down on the couch. He's not gonna tear up the furniture. So that's kind of like me. I had to like run, and then I could sit down at my desk all day and focus. So when we took that away, I was like, oh, there's no way it's gonna work, but we just lifted weights really hard. And it's
Yes.
the same thing.
Yeah, so that was a great point because that was ingrained for her since she was in her 20s. So what it, like you see to touch base on what she just said a second ago is that if you don't have it or not experiencing, there is a limiting belief, whether it's finances, your best body, whether your health, there is something in your belief system, and you have to look inside yourself. You know, you go in and say,
Yeah.
okay, what am I believing or not knowing that could change everything?
Well, I just said to myself, well, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? I could trust this guy that clearly knows what he's doing. And if he's wrong, I'll notice that I'm gaining some weight and I'll just go back to running. Right. So that was kind of my plan. Is if it was backfiring, I'd give it like 2 weeks, and then if it backfired,
Makes
because
sense.
he didn't know what he was talking about, then like I'd go back to doing what I was doing. But didn't backfire, it actually progressed pretty fast.
Yes.
So sometimes trusting in an expert too, like trusting in if you have a limiting belief and you can't get past it, sometimes enlisting the help of someone who's experienced in that area that you trust
Mm.
and like letting their belief in you carry you until you can believe in yourself can be beneficial in this aspect.
So we're hoping that this vision board, more than anything, I know for me, because I have done these before, is just the questions that she was going through. I'm like thinking to myself, oh, that's a great question. You know, so just
And
by
we'll give you guys, we'll send out a replay for this maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, depending on when we get it together. And I'll create a little workbook based on what I'm going through here tonight. So you guys have all the questions too.
Mm.
And if you want to do it at home, if you want to do it with your spouse or your kids or whatever, it's kind of cool. You can kind of go through it together.
Do you think that maybe we can all work on our vision boards and come back and maybe share?
Yeah, yeah, but I'm not done with my steps yet.
Oh,
So.
oh, oh, I don't want to get don't let me get ahead of you
I
now.
know it's for
Okay,
this class.
I'm going to be quiet
Yeah,
now. Go ahead.
so anyway, so we have the questions. Let me just stop. That's step one of creating a vision board. Let me just go through and check the chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. Will you be sending out a vision board guide, all the suggestions? Yes, okay, perfect. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm gonna send you guys a little, it's not gonna be pretty. I'm not gonna put pictures in it. That's gonna be basically my notes from this workshop. So Pam has said she has three categories: money, health, and social. Awesome. That's perfect. I'm going to go through categories as the next step. So I recommend you pick four. So you might want to pick one more. Let's see. Can you please repeat the last question? The last question is, what limiting beliefs do you need to either rewire in your brain or let go of in order to get to what you want, to get to your goal? Awesome. Let's see. Gabrielle says, what's a good way to get myself to begin? I can't seem to get started. Gabrielle, go ahead and post it and let me know what it is you're trying to begin. And I'll give
What
you a
aspect
tip.
of your
Like, yeah,
life?
what is it that you're trying to begin? Awesome. All right. So I'm going to go to the next. Oh, working out. Oh, well, you need to book a call with Coach Keyjob.
You know what? Why don't you? Well, she's one. Can you? We're kind of ad-libbing here. So, anyways, I do these free metabolic calls, and so for those that are watching, I have
Here, you can type your info in here if you want. Oh, do we have?
no.
Oh,
Jen's on here.
yeah, but I don't think she can send. Gabrielle, can you email support@glownaturalwellness.com and we will get you on a call with Coach Keisha and he will kind of go through. kind of a little metabolic assessment, see like where you're currently at, what you're currently doing, what's going on in your life, and figure out what might be blocking you from getting started and give you actually easy
And I'll
way to
give you a
get
lot of
started.
scientific background and tips that will help you because I don't care. I know there's a lot of women on here. I don't care if you're 40, 50, 60, 70. Science says with a proper application and nutrition program, you can build a lean tissue, which is your metabolism. I've seen it happen my whole life. So
Yeah.
anybody out there would like to speak with me, we'll get you situated because that's what I do all day for the most part. Besides beat her up. I do the metabolic calls for Glow Fit and Glow Wellness.
Awesome. Let's see. Jen says Jen is really good at all mindset stuff. Besides being our customer success manager, she's also an amazing mindset coach. And she says that Rewire is superior to replacing because most people have to replace thoughts instead of just letting them go. Okay, so Rewire is superior to letting go because it's hard just to let something go without putting something in its place. So I think that's
Hmm.
actually
Hmm.
smart.
Hmm.
Let's see. Crystal says, I got started losing weight and working out, but got hurt and had to stop.
Yes.
I'm better, but I'm struggling to get started again.
Real quickly, I don't know any of your statistics, age, height, weight, etc., but I can pretty much assure you, everybody watching this video, ourselves included, just mentioned I had the Achilles tendon rupture. And I'll say this, don't let what you can't do stop you from what you can. The reason why I excelled through my surgery and got back to normal and even better is that I mean, I had my crutches and my boot, but what I'm saying is if you hurt your leg, you can still do things. Just whatever you can do, do it safely and do it well, as long as you're taking one step forward, okay? Because I can assure you, you're going to have soreness, you're going to be sore, you're going to have an injury. It's guaranteed to happen. How you respond will determine your quality of life. So there's nothing that can happen to me. I mean, if something happens where I can't move, I want to wiggle my ears and I'm going to wiggle my ears and get reps. I'm just saying, I'm that determined, okay? And the more authentic you are about achieving a goal, whenever you're not sure, you always have like, I don't know what to do, where do I get started? I just don't know if I should go left or right. But when you're determined, you're just going to walk and the steps will come to you as you take that step. You have to trust the process.
Awesome. Great.
And get
That's
it
so smart.
and get information too. I'll help you with information, but don't sit paralyzed in a chair, not knowing what to do. Just get up and just start marching in place. No,
You're shaking the
sorry.
monitor.
I get excited. Sorry about that. But you get what I'm saying? Just get up and start marching in
Yeah.
place for 5 minutes. You're like, oh wow, I got my heart rate up. And so, just like,
Yeah.
yes,
If your like lower body hurts, you can do upper body. If
oh
your
my
upper body
gosh.
hurts, you do lower body. If you can just walk or you can swim because there's no impact. Like so many things.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, definitely. So Jen, if you are able to pop something in the Q&A section, that'd be great. You can pop links to both, oh, it's a Q&A section. I know it's in the chat. You can pop links to both the metabolic assessment call with Coach Kijan. And then we also offer, for those of you who are not on Healthy Hormone Club and are interested in balancing your hormones, if you think that might be something blocking you from energy, good sleep, sex life, whatever it might be, we offer a free hormone assessment call as well. With our hormone coaches that are amazing and kind of like dial in, like, is it your hormones holding you back? So either of those calls are free to you guys.
Mm.
And yeah, see, the links will not go into the group, just goes to you. Oh, this is the chat. We'll no, we'll put the links to what those calls with the replay and the workbook, so you guys will have that tomorrow.
Is that Wendy P?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she doesn't know you need to do a call.
Yeah, Wendy, you can book a call with Coach Kijana if you need to.
Mhm.
We'll make sure you get that link. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna go to the Q&A and then I'm gonna go back to my notes. I didn't realize there was a question and answer section.
Oh,
Will there be a replay? Yes, exactly. And should you draw pictures or symbols? You don't have to draw for a vision board, but if you're called to draw, if you like to draw, um, you can draw anything you want. You can draw a picture, you can draw hearts. You can draw, if you want more love in your life, you can draw stars or like palm
It's
trees.
basically your fingerprint. I
Yeah.
like to draw, but if someone doesn't like drawing, you may be the most artistic in crafts. You know what I mean? So put your fingerprint on it and just put your heart and soul into your vision board. And however it comes out and through expression, that's the right way for you.
Yes. Um, Michelle, I think you're asking me for a high protein supplement or powder, or are you asking for proline? Because I don't have one to recommend, but protein. Um, I like actually my favorite one I just found just now is if you're not vegan is Mount Capra. They have a goat whey protein that
Did you
is
say
just
goat way?
goat whey. Yeah, it's like superior to cow's milk whey. And it's super clean. It's just goat whey, a little stevia, and that's it. And it's awesome. So that's my favorite right now. And then I also like Organifi. And then if you are vegan, oh, what is that brand? True Body. If you're vegan, that's a good vegan one. Oh, good. Jen did put in the Q&A section
No, thanks, Jen.
some links there.
Thank you, Jen.
Oh, I don't have a proline supplement I recommend, so I can look that up for you, but it's not something that I typically recommend. So I'd have to like look up one, but I would go with if you can go with a like pharmaceutical grade company, like a Designs for Health or a um, something like Douglas Labs or Thorne, one of those brands. They are usually higher quality and less fillers. All right, I got through this. I'm going to go back. I'm going to put it back on the chat just so we have that up. And then I'm going to go to step two.
All right,
So
let's do.
step one, you were just kind of like feeling out for yourself, like what you want, what you don't want, what your ultimate goal is for yourself. That's kind of like your clarity. Step two is designing or defining your categories. So I know someone in the chat mentioned they have their categories they want. So you can pick four of these. You can pick more if you want, but it might get too cluttered on your vision board. So these are the ones that you want to work on most. So health and vitality is number one. Business and career is number two. Money and abundance. So I notice I put money and abundance. So it doesn't just have to be money. It could be just abundance, feeling more like you have more. Love and relationships, travel and fun, spirituality and purpose, and home and environment. So those are kind of like the core areas. And so pick four. I think four is enough for your vision board. If you want to pepper in some others, that's totally fine. But you don't want your vision board to be just too random. So I like it to be focused on what you're most focused on. But those are just some areas that you can think about.
Just real quickly,
Yeah.
which one jumps out at you? And they all matter, but for you,
For me, spirituality and purpose.
that's mine. Spirituality and purpose for sure. That jumped out at me. And what? Give me one more.
Probably health and vitality
Mm,
because I'm always interested in like anti-aging, health, improving my wellness.
yeah. The spirituality and purpose for sure. Travel and fun. It's either going to be love and relationships and health and vitality. So
Yeah.
yeah, those are my three. So, anyways, just wanted to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Have in the chat what you guys
So the choices again, I mean, obviously they all matter. The choices again, health and vitality, business and career, money and abundance, love and relationships, travel and fun, spirituality and purpose, and home and environment. What really resonates? They all resonate, but I'm
yeah.
just curious if everybody wants to pop one or two up there, that would be just interesting to see. Okay.
Awesome. Oh, I forgot one. My last category was confidence and personal growth.
Okay, now that adds in there.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Well, it's on the next page, so
Yeah.
you didn't forget.
Yeah. I should have remembered I had more.
Yeah. Personal growth is definitely up there for sure. Hmm.
Yeah, so once you pick your categories, let's see. Health and vitality, confidence and personal
Mm.
growth, spirituality,
Passion
and
and
purpose.
purpose,
Yeah.
yes. Health and vitality, spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool. I
yeah.
see why
No,
we're all on the call together.
yeah. And without
But it's
going,
the wrong answer though.
no, of course not. They all matter, but it's almost, I don't know. It's like your energy and the people in this group in this coming. I was a last minute invite. I mean, I had no memo. It's like, hey, I'm doing a vision board. So I'm like, I'm in. So.
Okay, so again, the categories are health and vitality, business and career, money and abundance, love and relationships, travel and fun, spirituality and purpose, home and environment, or confidence and personal growth.
Is that our girl Nancy?
Yeah, Nancy's on here. Hey,
Oh my
Nancy.
gosh, Nancy.
And Brenda. All our
Oh,
friends are
oh,
here.
Brenda too. We'll be seeing her in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. How many do you recommend? I say like 4 or 5. You can pick them all if you
And
want.
they'll have access to this whenever.
Yeah, we're gonna send you this
So
little
that,
workbook.
yeah.
So once you pick your categories, what I want you to think about or write down or visualize is what success in each of those areas looks and feels like.
Hmm.
So what emotions would you get and what visuals would evoke that emotion? Because that's what you're going to put on your vision board. Those are the things you're looking for.
Hmm.
So again, what success looks and feels like in each of these areas. So you're just going to write down your categories and you're going to write what the feelings that will have you feel and what kind of visuals would make you feel those feelings. And that's what you're going to start looking for when you're going through the magazines. And then once you do that, the next step is going to be making it real for you. So you want to pick pictures that give you a feeling. Again, I've talked about this many times, but don't just pick like a stock image of like
Hmm.
a plain thing, like that doesn't really like draw you. Like take some time, go through magazines, go through like Pinterest or online and find that thing. You can print it out, you can do a lot of different things, but you'll find things. Take your time with this. Um, like if you're searching online for you can even ask ChatGPT to make you an image these days. So like instead of saying like house, you would be like bright modern house,
Hmm.
2-story house with greenhouse windows and a wraparound porch.
Hmm.
Like that's kind of like how specific
Wow.
I really want you to be because that's the thing that's gonna make you feel the feeling. Why the wraparound porch? Because you love the Victorian age and your grandma had a Victorian house and that made you feel like home. And like there's always a reason why you like things. And usually it's something in your past or reminds you of something or it gives you this feeling or something that maybe it's the future, maybe it's I won't get too crazy here, but maybe it's like a past life or some other dimension. I don't know, but there's other things. So you can use photos that you have, you can use magazines, you can use there's online sites like Pexels, which is free images, and then Pinterest, Canva, ChatGPT, all different resources.
I'm excited to see these vision boards. I mean, how
Yeah.
cool is this?
All right, and then here's the big thing. When you're actually putting it together, I don't want you to just cut things out and slap them on paper. I want you to do it with intention. And I want you to say things like say some affirmations. So you can pick what you like, but I have 3 for you in your workbook that are going to kind of be helpful. So as you're doing it and making your vision board, I want you to say, I am magnetic to everything I desire. I am aligned, empowered, and unstoppable, and I receive with ease, I act with purpose. So those are 3 kind of affirmations. You can pick other things that resonate with you, but these are things that you can do and say while you're doing your vision board. You can even put them on your vision board. So putting affirmations on your vision board will help you to do them daily because you're going to be looking at your vision board not just once a day, but several times a day. And so you're going to put it somewhere in your house or carry it with you somehow. I would put it like somewhere you go, like every morning, maybe where you drink your coffee, and look at it for 2 minutes and start feeling emotion towards already having that thing. Like let yourself daydream a little bit. Like just like let go of reality, look at the thing. If the house, if you, it's the house with the wraparound porch is on your vision board, like just daydream yourself on that wraparound porch, letting the breeze go through your hair. Like, what does that feel like? Like, that is really, really powerful. And then you're going to say your affirmations out loud. I receive with ease, I act on purpose. And you're just going to visualize yourself with that life, that emotions, how you feel. And that is going to help those things come true because that's going to activate your neuroplasticity. That's going to create that mental repetition that we need to create new neural pathways. And that's going to create that reticular activating system. So when opportunities arise throughout your day, when you're going through your day and you meet that guy who's a realtor who just found a foreclosure on a Victorian house with a wraparound porch, and now it's like half the price it was before, and the guy needs to sell it, and so he doesn't even need you to do a down payment because he's going to rent it to you and rent to own, and then it's the rent is less than the rent you have now. And you're like, you never would have met that guy if you didn't do this visualization and be looking for realtors and like, oh, Joe, you're a realtor? Oh, I heard that from far away because you're sitting at the next table. It's just things happen like that. And we think they happen by chance, but they actually happen by our creation.
Synchronicity is a real thing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, let me see. Oh, Allison said she's using post-it notes and she says, I am clear on my goals and I have the strength to follow through. Oh, that is so good.
I love it, Allison.
And she says, thank both of you with GlowFit. It's the motivation I needed for this goal. Oh, thank you so much. Allison is one of our superstars in GlowFit.
Love it. Love it.
Yes, Pam says, I have it in the present tense. I am eating healthy food daily. Absolutely. Absolutely. So good. So good. Yes, I'm going to be sending you guys the vision board guide. Do not worry. You're going to get this. And so, again, this isn't just the vision board, it's a frequency board, right? It's a blueprint for belief in yourself and what is possible for you. So it's basically your declaration of what you're going to make happen for yourself in the future. So, we don't just live by default, we live by divine design. And so this is our opportunity to set that in action.
Yes.
And, you're worthy, you're powerful, you're stronger than you think, you're more powerful than you know. And so I really want us to have fun with this vision board exercise. And most of you I do meet with at least once a month. GlowFit, we meet every week. Healthy Hormone Peeps, we meet once a month. So I'd love to see your vision boards on our next meeting. GlowFit, I'll give you a couple weeks. But definitely, I mean, I will send this out within a day or two, so you'll have the workbook. And I'd love to see what people come up with. So we're going to work on our vision board with our blank slate.
Can I come back to the one? Because I want to show mine. I might be the only guy in the group, but that's okay. I want to show mine.
You can show
All right.
yours.
I want to come back too, and I want to see everyone's vision boards. I'm excited.
Yeah, I would love to see because we'd love to help be part of helping you get to that goal. And if we all share our vision boards, guess what? Someone in this group might be the answer to helping you get to the next step. And like you put on that, like you want to go to Tahiti, and then Allison's like, oh, my sister-in-law owns a hotel in Tahiti. And then, it's like things like that always happen. And so if we make our goals real and we share them with other people, that's powerful, but this is for ourselves. And so you can totally, and then a bonus if you want to, what I like to do is what I've done in the past is I've taken a picture of my vision board and I keep it on my phone. So if I'm like waiting in line at the grocery store or I'm doing something, I'm waiting for something, I could just look at my vision board. Or before I go into a meeting or before I go speak out on a stage, I can look at my vision board and remind me of like what I'm doing this for. I think it's pretty awesome.
At the end of the day, whether it's a song, reading the Bible, a vision board, anything and everything that puts you in a positive mindset, you're not going to look back at this and say, God, what was I doing a vision? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's never a waste of
The
time.
more, I've regretted a lot of things I've done in my life. I have never regretted a workout, eating healthy, praying, sitting in gratitude. This
Yeah.
is like the more, and I think the older we get, like, there's a saying, be humble or be humbled. At this stage in life, I'm telling you, maybe it's a guy's thing, but at this stage in life, we're so grateful for our health and and the ability and possibility to create our future versions of life. It's a great thing.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I'm going to read some comments.
See?
Let's see. Okay, make sure I got them all. We love you guys too. So my first thought was to get a former picture of myself
Mm,
when I was thin, young, and healthy and motivated, but I feel sad. How do I shift this thought into something more positive?
mm.
Oh, Wendy, no, that is you, right? That's the version of you that you felt most comfortable in. So you know how that feels. I think that's a powerful thing to put on a vision board,
No,
right?
and here's one for you. So that version of you that exists and can still exist, that's all the hope that you need. It's not as if science will back me up here with the proper mindset and doing the things needed. The vision board is not going to happen or work if you don't go out there. If you want to, if part of your vision is to get healthy and fit and strong, you don't just sit there and look at the vision board. You become that version of the person that
Yeah,
becomes that on the board. So that person, the young girl that you were strong, fit, and healthy, I'm telling you, there are people out there much older than we are, and they're experiencing vitality and health. You just got to be happy that you are in a position that you can actually work toward that goal.
absolutely. And
Mm.
like what the purpose of the vision board is like feel the feeling of how you felt when you were in that shape. I want you to remember how that felt, how to feel light and healthy and vibrant and able to do things and motivated. Like start feeling that feeling and become that version of Wendy because she's in there. Like
Yes.
little Wendy's in there.
Well, here's one for you. Maybe you can help. So whenever you were just saying about half an hour ago how you was a runner and you wanted to experience, but you never had that experience. And for most of us, not just Wendy, for most of us, it's a long time since you felt that person.
Yeah.
So here's a question. I'm kind of putting you on the spot. So how did you go from experiencing something that you never experienced? That's that. I mean,
Well,
do you get what
yeah.
I'm saying? Because the memory of whenever we were 20 years old and running and jumping, for many of us, we haven't ran or jumped or and doing that stuff in a while. So now to touch on your experience, you went from thin and not really strong in running into a strong and physically fit, but you never had that experience. So what was the key component from stepping into where they are now, where you were, to experiencing full on, you know? So that's
It's kind of like so, most things I do in my life I've never done before, right?
what, yes.
Like this business, this I've never done a vision board workshop before, right? So like I could say, oh, I've never done it before. I'm gonna make it perfect. I gotta make all these slides. Are they gonna
Will they
feel
like it? Will
weird?
they
Will they
like
like,
it?
yeah.
Right.
Are they gonna like, is anyone gonna show up? If they do, are they gonna think I'm silly or too woo-woo? Or are they gonna think I'm not a good doctor because I'm talking about vision boards and feeling feelings instead of like lab tests. So I could do that and then just put it off, put it off, put it off, and never do it. Or I could just be like, well, I'm going to do it and hopefully it helps somebody. And if I feel like I like the information and I feel like the information is valid, I'm going to share it. And what's the worst that can happen? People don't like it, and just be okay with I'm okay with failing because I know that the more times I fail, the closer I am to getting to my goal. Um, because I'm building a business, being a mom, we can fail a lot. I mean, how many times have you like tried to do something with your kids and then like it totally backfired? Like, and if it's your kids, so you have to keep going because you can't just like, I'm done being a mom, right? So you don't have a choice.
Same thing with your health. I mean, you do have a choice, but you really don't have a choice.
Yeah, but
You got,
the thing is, like, so with the weightlifting, the question you're asking me, like, I said, what's the worst that can happen? Like, it doesn't work, and then I'm in the same shape place I am now. I'm not gonna get when I'm gonna get skinny or like when you told me to stop running, what if I gain a few pounds? I'll just run more and lose it, right? It's
so would you say,
you always have the opportunity of going back to what you're doing right now, right? So what's the worst that can happen if you take a leap of faith
just
and
fully commit to that version
yeah,
and,
exactly.
and give it all you have because you can always go back to the old version anyways.
Right,
It's probably
right. But
easier.
but jump in and it might be a little uncomfortable at first. You know why? Because it's not familiar. And familiar is getting to where we are right now, which we want to change. And so to get to that change, we have to do something a little unfamiliar, which might feel uncomfortable at first, but probably is going to feel really good pretty soon. It's going to become your new normal. and it's going to become the new thing you do. And if it's healthy things that you're doing, we're not telling you to start like doing drugs, like start doing healthy things, eating healthy food, moving your body. It's going to make you stronger.
Mm.
It's going to make you feel better.
Just focus on why you want to do that
Yeah.
and what the probability and possibility is. It's better than where you are now.
Yeah. And I always do like, what's the worst that can happen?
Mm.
You know, even like with like business, like if I make a bad decision and my whole business goes down, what's the worst that can happen? Like I'm probably not gonna be homeless, but I have enough friends and family. They're not gonna let me live on the street. I could always move to like Mexico on the beach, or it's like really cheap to live and still have a pretty decent life,
Yeah.
right? Like what's the worst that can really happen? But what's the best that can happen is you can get what's on your vision board, you can get your dream.
Yes.
Right. And anything in between is still an improvement, right? They always say like reach for the moon and you might hit a star or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that.
shoot for the moon. The worst is going to hit a star. So
Yeah,
yeah, you know what? Don't be sad. Take that vibration and say, you know what? I'm going to do this, and know that it's there waiting for you to take. It
exactly.
really is. It really is.
I think the sad thing is not trying,
Oh, regret? Oh,
right?
the pain of regret. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
So I think like we become the more like we don't try, we actually like let ourselves down because you're a little inside. You're inside your body wants to do more, be more.
You want to
Yeah,
do more.
you want to, your inner soul wants what's on this vision board, wants what you are.
That's why you put it there.
That's why you put it there. And so if you just let go of like your fears, let go of your like what limiting beliefs, things that are holding you back, and just go for it,
Mhm.
chances are you're gonna get further than you are right
Oh
now.
yeah, the probability is really, really high. And the more that you just go and say, you know what, I can do this, your chances go really, really high.
Absolutely.
Yes, you
But
got
good question. I'm glad you
every
asked that
yeah,
because everyone has something.
of course we all do.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
got you guys got this.
even like probably until a few years ago, I was like deathly afraid of public speaking. And so I would turn down opportunities to speak at events and on webinars and do interviews because I was like, I didn't know what to say. When I first started this business, I thought I had to wear like a lab coat all the time and act all like, like, I don't know, all like intelligent and stuff and say big words. And now I feel like comfortable being me and I'll joke around and like and that's what's worked better. That's what people resonate with more, a real person than some like fake stuffy person trying to act like a doctor, right? But it's the limiting beliefs that we have to let go. Let's see. I would recommend a picture that she feels confident and aligned with when she sees. Yeah, exactly. So that's it. Yeah, so if a certain picture makes her feel sad, then
Mhm.
maybe a picture that she feels more aligned with.
It's an individual journey, and
Mhm.
nobody can tell you what you align with, you know.
Yes.
But your vibration and energy will always be your truth. What you're feeling is your truth, and
Yes.
always align with yourself. That's your truth.
Brenda says she loves challenges because they make you stronger.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Let's see. We love to see your lovely face and inspiration in the protocol once a month. I sign up for the protocol. Awesome. Yes, I'm trying to get back. I am trying to get my schedule now so I can get into all the calls once in a while. But hopefully you guys are enjoying Kim. She is amazing. See,
Mm.
Allison says,
Mm. I see what
I
you're
can
saying.
see what you're saying, Michelle. Almost like breathing to open the bandwidth to what's possible. Absolutely.
Mm.
Beautiful. Just like the Nike
For
stuff.
sure, just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, it's exactly. But you should put that on your vision board.
I mean, you got to give it to Nike. I mean, the most basic
I
thing
know.
is
I love that. I'm gonna
it's
go get
just
them.
timeless. I know, just do it. Just do it.
Awesome. This has been wonderful. Like you said, awesome. Yeah, so I will definitely get you guys this workbook out. So we are
You're
done
welcome,
in
Pam.
I wrapped it in an hour. This is like a first for me
I know.
on
I want to go work on my vision board, man. Let's
I know,
go.
yeah. So
Let's
I want
go.
you to like start thinking about the questions, at least those first questions I asked, and I can go back through those where they are.
There you go.
Um, all the pages.
Well, thank you for inviting me. This is
Yeah,
exciting.
oh, these, no, those
Yeah.
aren't them. Oh, the self-inquiry question. So what am I craving more of right now? What am I craving more of right now? What is no longer serving me and needs to be released? What does my ideal life look like in 1 year? Lifestyle, income, health, relationships, passion, travel, home, career, all those things. What do I want to become? And this is like describing yourself or how other people would describe you, how you would want that to be. And it's like your personality, how you look, how you interact with people, all those types of things. And then what feelings do I want to feel more often? And what limiting beliefs do I need to rewire or release in order to achieve what I want?
Mm.
So if you start with those, and then I will send you guys the workbook within, I'm gonna try to get out tomorrow if I can. And then you guys can start creating your vision boards and share them with us. I love to see them, and we will share ours with you as
I'm
well.
excited to get to work. Let's go.
All right, so get to work.
Thanks, Gabrielle, Tammy, Martha.
Thank you guys for joining us, and Glow Fit, we will see you guys tomorrow night again.
Oh,
You're gonna get a
yeah.
lot of
Let's
us.
go, Glow Fit.
Awesome. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you to my team members who are here too. Well, thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. Yes. Take care. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
We're waiting.
Or waving.
I love it.